We're day 2. We're at an undisclosed location. We're about to go over the ridge and see if there's anything on the other side. And hopefully we'll get something. Alright, we're back at it. Okay, we just came to a spot that I've had deer on camera since April. Real heavy. We came in, we grabbed the camera. It's youth weekend. It's time to pull them. It's muzzleloader season starts next week, and I just want to get that camera out of there. So we've traveled probably 500 yards up the hill out of that section, and we found there's a rub right there. You can see it right there. And then we've got a bed. We got a buck bed right here. It's got hair in it. Obviously, you can see everything else. The leaves are everywhere. Alright? And that's bare because he kicked it out and then he laid there. I don't know how big a deer that one is, but it's definitely a deer bed. So I think we're on the right bench here to run into something. It's cold. It's about 39 degrees right now, maybe 37. And you can see there's tracks coming back and forth right in here, running this ridge. We're a little bit late. It's about 10 o'clock. We're 9:45 right now. It took us quite a while to work that ridge because it was dead silent at that point, no wind. And Tristan is not a sitter. He does not like to sit, and being cold this morning, sitting's not a good option. So we're still hunting, and so it took us a while to work that ridge quiet enough to get over the top. There was fresh tracks up on the top, and they were heading this way, but they're ahead of us by quite a bit. I figured they were probably on their way up here about 5:30, 6 o'clock, so they're not terribly far ahead of us, and they're probably bedded right up in here somewhere. So we're gonna work this bench across the best we can, see if we can rouse something. Alright guys, Tristan and I just had a pretty cool experience. We had been following a bunch of does or small bucks this morning to try to catch up to them, and they had dropped down into a cut below us. We had gone onto a bench that's right below me, and right behind me, I don't know if you could see, but it's just vertical cliff back there. We didn't expect to see a deer in here at all. There's no tracks that we could see. But then we got over to this point here, and we were getting ready to drop across this draw into the next cut. And we heard something explode, and next thing we know, there's a giant rack buck heading down the hill on an angle to the north, heading up into that next cut. So I kind of want to give you an overview of what that buck saw and show you his bed and kind of where he was and whatnot. So here's the overview. So first off, you can see right here, there's a big, huge rock right here as a backstop. Plus you get that cliff, so there's no predators coming down to this bed at all. And then he can see all through here. You can see we were just down here. There's a big birch right here, and we were right at that birch where he spotted us and took off. But he's got perfect view all through here, and the wind is funneling up through the draw right directly into this bed. So he's got the up thermals coming right here to him. This is an absolute perfect buck bedding spot. I never even thought of it with the cliff back here. I didn't think the buck would bed right that close to a cliff, but he did. Anyways, so he went out that way, and when he took off, I mean, his escape was right through here. I mean, this is just a little fortress. Here's the bed right here. You can see, if you follow it around, it's a pretty good sized bed. It's probably 180, 190 pound deer. Anyways, maybe 2. Big bed. So I'm going to back up a little bit, and I'll show you this a little bit better so you can kind of really see it. But I'm kind of crouched down in here in his little cave. You couldn't see him. We couldn't see him until he got out in the open running at top speed down through the rocks. And Tristan's a beginner hunter. I'd never expect him to make that shot. It would have been hard pressed for me to make that shot just because of all the brush and stuff through here. So we basically watched in awe. I tried to mouth grunt him to make him stop at least, and he couldn't even do that. He couldn't even be polite enough to do that for us. So, but we're going to get on the track when we get over here, and we're going to try to track him. I'm pretty sure I know which direction he's going and what he's going to do, but I think it's the big 7-pointer that I have on camera that's back this way about 400 yards. So it would make sense. So, and that's a pretty big buck. So let me get up and show you this real quick so we can get on this track. So you can see right down in here, this is where the bed is, and you can see he's got beech trees all over him here covering him. They're still green, which most of the stuff down below is all brown, but these are still green. A spruce tree, a bunch of brush, down stuff. There's a down log here. You got the rock right here. Just an absolute textbook perfect bedding spot. That's why they take these beds. You just can't get them. So we're going to go get on this thing, and hopefully we at least see him again. Maybe I'll get him on camera next time. So let's go. Alright, me and the boy are bare ground tracking him, and we've gone about 300 yards so far on him. He's still moving pretty good. He's heavy deer, so it's easy to follow him. If he's got any, if he's moving fast at all, he's leaving a lot of sign. So we had a couple of hard spots. We had to track him across a clear cut twice, 2 clear cut roads, so it's pretty tough. But we're going to keep going till we don't think we can catch up to him. He's not that far ahead of us, so he's still going pretty straight. So I think we got a ways to go before he starts looking for a place to bed. I was expecting him to get over here and then cut back on this draw behind me and get up there and watch his back trail, but he didn't do it. He's still going pretty straight. Alright, let's give an update. Alright, here's the update on our bare ground track. He's still got his track here. He's mixing in with a bunch of moose right now. We got a spot back here. It was tough. We lost his track. There was a ton of deer tracks in there. We lost the track, kind of, and then we finally picked it up on the other side of the brook. And he's still kind of heading in this direction that he originally took off in. He's mixed in. There's a ton of moose tracks in here, so it's not even, we have a general direction. You can kind of see his track, but it's really hard to read. So at this point, we're just going to kind of head in his general direction. And we've decided at this point we probably are not going to be able to catch him. But we know where he's going to be. So we're going to give it to the snowmobile trail. Once we hit the snowmobile trail, if we haven't jumped him or caught eyes on him, we're just going to head down. We're going to get lunch, and then we're going to go and set up for our afternoon, which is going to be in a different section where there's a bunch of oaks. So that's the plan, and we're sticking to it. We'll see you in a bit.